welcome to So Far Apart Together, a series of interviews with youth leaders and churchgoers where we look at how life might have changed during lockdown. And I've also asked them in advance if they'd have anything that they'd like to share with the youth of Bethel and possibly the wider church, something to encourage, something to embolden, and something maybe even to challenge you. Today, joining me on the sofa, apart but together, with Richard Lawson. Hi, Richard. How are you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm very good. Very good. I feel like I should have some walk-on music, like on the Graham Norton show or something, and just kind of stand on the stairs. But,
I can have that in afterwards. It's fine.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. If you could.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for joining me on the sofa today.
Oh,
How are you doing? How has lockdown been?
Do you know what? I know it's very un-PC to say this, and I know it's an awful situation. I can't belittle that. It's terrible that the amount of people who are ill, the amount of people suffering and dying. I'm quite enjoying it. Not the bad stuff, but just I know maybe I shouldn't have this recorded. But do you know what? It's just one of those things. I find life is just so stressful and rushing from thing to thing and work days and weekends. But just being able to stop and chill and spend time with the family is fab. It's been really good.
Stop and quite literally listen to the birds for some people, isn't it? And just
you know what? Yeah, it's just been amazing just to be able to sit in the garden, have a cup of coffee and think, oh, I didn't know we had birds. This is incredible. There's a tree over there. It's a lovely place to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about you?
We've been doing really well, actually. It's been lovely. But like you say, it's been lovely just to have that time to spend time with the kids. It is difficult, I won't lie. Working from home is not easy. When you've got Eli trying to get you to do the next level on Super Mario Brothers, because he's struggling with it, which I don't know. He's amazing at it, so why he thinks I can do better, I don't know. And then Hyle went on a Zoom call next to me, singing and dancing with her friends, and I'm trying to write something for Bethel Kids. So it's all very interesting and very hard. But there is the positive sides, which are eating lunch outside in the garden with the family and just having a lunch break that is actually a lunch break and not just sitting at the computer. Eating more salads as well because it's sunny. The weather has been absolutely glorious. So it has been really nice. I think it's got its detractors. Obviously, the not being able to see family members, my parents and things like that, has been really heartbreaking. But obviously, we've had video calls, we've had Zoom calls and things with them. They FaceTime me and the kids pretty much every day. They actually came out on a walk with us earlier today. They FaceTime while we were out, so I was taking them along with us on the walk, which was really nice. Good. And it's fun to be able to do stuff like that, things that you wouldn't normally be able to do. Parts of your life that you share with your family and things. But so it's had its detractors, but at the same time, like you say, it's had its positives. It's had that moment of stripping everything back, being able to relax and wonder why are we always busy? Why are we always in that hustle and bustle? Definitely.
Sounds just like my time, except swap salad for cake, and I'm there.
I'll be honest, a lot more cake and bread has been baked and consumed, definitely.
I haven't baked so much cake and bread for so long. And the thing is, when it's fresh, it needs to be eaten. You can't leave it.
Absolutely.
It won't save.
I mean, you've put, effort and muscle and sweat and tears into those cakes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe hopefully not into the cakes, but, into making the cakes. And so you don't want them to go stale. You don't want them to go to waste. No, so they have to be consumed. Yeah.
I feel it's my duty to make sure that cake is gone. And I'm doing pretty well. Which is why I'm filming just from my shoulders up, because I haven't got a wide angle lens on this.
Are you actually balancing the iPad on the belly now? Yeah.
A little bit. Does it show?
No. Just when you breathe in, it's fine. Oh, brilliant. So I asked you beforehand if you'd like to share something with the youth of Bethel and the wider church as well. What is it you want to bring to us today? What is it you want to share?
Well, I've been thinking a lot. I've had lots of time to think, and it's one of those things where, like I said before, when you're rushing around from day to day, and you kind of, as a teacher, I kind of lurch from, my life is broken up into 1 hour slots, and the bell rings, and then ready or not, the next slot turns up. and he lurks from day to day, from weekend to weekend, and it gets very hectic. And I find that the important things slip and the less important things take over, which is a real struggle for me. And I've just found that lately it's been a lovely opportunity to spend time on the important things, like I say, with family, and spending time slowing down and enjoying sort of the little things in life. But also, spending more time with God. And I've been reading a lot more of the Bible. It's been sort of one of those things. It's kind of, you can soak in it in a little bit more instead of rushing it and reading it on the fly. And one of the Psalms I came across, I'll just read it. It's a very short one. Psalm 46, and it goes like this: God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore I will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. God is within her. She will not fall. God will help her at break of day. Nations are in uproar, kingdoms fall. He lifts his voice, the earth melts. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. Come and see what the Lord has done, the desolations he has brought on the earth. He makes wars cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shields with fire. He says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord God Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress." And I think as I was reading that, at the moment, it's not just COVID, it's not just lockdown. There's all sorts going on around the world. It's a crazy situation. You just turn on the news for 5 minutes. I've tried to stop doing it, to be honest. I've tried to ignore my phone whenever it pings with the news updates, because it just seems like we're living in a film. It's just there's so much crazy stuff going on that you couldn't make this up. If I wrote this in a book a year ago, people would just laugh at it as being such ridiculous kind of fiction. But just the first bit: God is our refuge and our strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea. Sometimes it feels like the mountains are falling into the heart of the sea. Sometimes it feels like the earth is giving away around us. It's just, there's riots on the streets. There's all sorts kicking off in America. We've got awful situation, bushfires in Australia. We've got, obviously lockdown around the world. It's just a crazy, crazy time. But just to know that God is in the middle of that, and God is unchanging. And despite the appearances, God is completely in control of what's going on. And I've been reflecting a lot on time lately. Like I say, I rush from crisis to crisis, it feels like, sometime in work. And you know what? I was thinking that, well, maths is a big part of my day. I'm a physics teacher, and I just start playing around with calculators. And I think I was looking at this as, if I gave somebody, say if I gave you £1,440 every single day as a gift, completely free, it's yours to do whatever you want with it. Okay, so I got to tell you, it's not going to happen. But if I gave you £1,440 for free, spend it how you want. But there's one catch. All I want you to do is spend 20 of those pounds on me every day. Doesn't sound like too big a deal, does it? Yeah, it's a lot of money to deal with. I could get on with that. I'll just come out my kind of job and just spend 20 minutes of my day doing what you want me to do. Or, it just kind of works. That's got a good ratio. But actually, every day, we're given 1,440 minutes. 24 lots of 60, 1,440. And actually, when we look back at how we used to spend those 1,440, I know we spend a lot on sleep, we spend some on eating, we spend quite a few brushing our teeth, or driving, getting to work, getting to school, whatever it is. But actually, God gives us that as a free gift. We can spend those 1,440 minutes however we want, every single day. We don't ask for them, we don't pay for them, they just turn up the next day and they're there for us. And all he wants us to do, really, and it's not really, we can simplify this a lot, but really, if we can spend 20 minutes in his presence, if we can spend 20 minutes reading his word, spending 20 minutes praying and talking with him, and I think this is the important bit that we miss, and sometimes whizzing through our day, I can be praying a quick prayer on the way to work, but actually to pause, to grab a coffee, go and sit in the garden, get my Bible out and have the birds singing in the background while I read whatever verse it is, or whatever chapter it is, or whatever book it is, and then just spend time talking to God and listening to him talk to me back through the word is just such a luxury. And it's one of those things, just to have 20 minutes of that, or sometimes more, Sometimes you can soak it for an hour, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it might be, but just have the luxury of time to just relax and spend that time with God has been the biggest blessing I can imagine. Something we've never had the opportunity to do before, to luxuriate and soak in that time. And actually, even now, it's the temptation is to go, oh, I could do this, I could start that project, I could do something else. But actually, no. Let's just take a bit of time, give that back to God, and see what He does with it.
Wow. Absolutely fantastic. That, like, the context that you put that in works really well for my head, like showing that kind of deficit of time, and that idea that if you've got, God's given you this much time and all He wants is just this much, and that yeah
It's
and
difficult because I think time, just like money, once it's gone, that's it. That's it. So if you waste it, I'm guilty as anybody else. I can spend half an hour on my phone looking at absolute rubbish on Pinterest, or flicking through photos on Instagram, and then before you know it, it's like, oh man, half an hour's gone. I'm late for this. I've got to do that, and it's just waste, isn't it? And actually, we can spend our time so much more fruitfully, so much more responsibly, just with a bit of thought.
Yeah, because like you say, if you do equate it to money in that way, if you've got something to spend money on in a shop, you think about it a lot more, don't you? You think, like, do I want this quality item, or do I want this item?
I once took 6 months to buy a stereo. And that's kind of impulse shopper I am. It's it takes a lot of thought, and what am I going to do with my money? Because once it's gone, I can't then look in the shop and think, oh, I should have got that one instead. But I don't do that with my time on a day-to-day basis. It's just difficult.
And really, the time is what we've got a finite amount of, isn't it? It's like,
Absolutely.
We have whatever God's given us, and that's it. So it literally is a case of spending your time wisely. Definitely.
Take this from somebody who's going very, very grey, and then suddenly woke up and found they're middle-aged, officially middle-aged, and you just think, oh, where did time go? So when people tell you, wherever it is, parents, older people, people in school, and they say, oh, make the most of your time, do. Okay, it just goes. Oh my goodness, it goes. I can't believe I got a 12-year-old daughter, nearly. Just crazy.
You heard it here, guys. You've heard it here. Richard Lawson has said, use your time wisely.
Use it. Use it wisely. Do you know what? It gets faster as you get older. One thing I've found, actually, is that lockdown, I've got new hobbies. If you start doing this and you think, oh, never tried this. One thing I've started doing is carving spoons. I don't know what it is.
What?
Carving spoons. So I start with a log. It's awesome. Start with a log, and an axe and a knife, and you just bash away at it and see what happens. Like, look at that. Isn't that cool?
I asked you what you were doing in lockdown. Why didn't you?
I forgot. I kind of had this next to me. I thought, oh, I could show it. But it's just like, but I've got to say, this is one of the things that I've spent. I literally thought I'd just do half an hour, and then Claire came out and said, "Oh, you coming in for tea? What about lunch?" It's like, no, it's 5 o'clock. I'd literally sat in the garden all day, getting sunburned, chipping away with an axe to make that. And it's great. You can just talk about mindfulness. You go into a little zone, and you kind of contemplating a little meditative state. And yeah, I can recommend. Well, I was going to say recommend this. I wouldn't recommend it. That's what the axe did to me.
Oh, lovely.
You took my finger off. But hey, if you do it safely, it's good fun.
So do you find it gives you, like you said, it's mindfulness during that time of making the act, of making the spoons and stuff like that? But do you find you spend that time in any other way? Do you pray? Do you like contemplate big ideas, or?
Yeah, all of the above. All of the above. Because I think it's fun and it takes a bit of concentration, but it's not going to take much brain power to sort of turn a piece of wood into a different shape. It's just you got sharp things. You can change the shape of the soft thing. It's just one of those things. It's actually you got a lot of spare brain power just to kind of mull over things and dwell on things, and spend time praying and thinking about the bigger issues in life. Yeah, it's good.
Nice. And I'm sure there's a lot of carpenters who are going to be in the comment section below saying it's harder than that.
Oh, carpenters, yeah. This is just taking a log and smashing it to bits. It's it's very sort of brute force. It's carpentry is a whole different thing.
Take a log and make it a different shape. What's hard about that?
Exactly. There are no wrong answers. It's brilliant.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard, for taking the time to share with us about time. Quite literally. And I hope this is one of these skills and these hobbies that continue after lockdown is lifted and things start to get back to normal, whatever normal is going to look like now.
Yeah.
Hopefully the lessons that we've learned about how we spend our time and how we interact with people as well, and the things that we love in life, the things that we're missing. Hopefully we've learned what those core things are, and that God is part of that core as well, and that we can spend time with him, and we should spend time with him. Definitely.
Cool. One of the little phrases that's stuck in my mind lately is, before we rush back to what we used to be doing, let's take some time now to think about what's worth rushing back to. I think it's one of those things we can really recalibrate here and sort of, assess our priorities.
Absolutely.
But it's been fun. Thanks for having me.
Lovely. Thank you very much for joining me on the sofa, Rich.
It's been a pleasure.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining me on the sofa for this wonderful interview. If you want to see any more interviews, I'm sure they'll be available in the boxes next to me. Please keep tuning in, and if you want to be interviewed yourself, please give us a shout on the email in the description below. Bye-bye.